SpaceX launches 60 more Starlink satellites, now at 300 launched in just over 1 month. SpaceX has launched another batch of Starlink satellites, keeping up its rapid pace of launches for the broadband constellation it's deploying in low Earth orbit. The most recent launch before this one happened on March 24th, with prior flights on March 14th, March 11th and March 4th, respectively. That pace is intentionally fast, since SpaceX has said it aims to launch a total of 1,500 Starlink satellites over the course of this calendar year. Before that especially busy month, SpaceX also flew 4 other Starlink missions, including a shared ride on SpaceX's first dedicated ride-share mission that also carried satellites for other customers. In total, SpaceX has now launched 1,443 satellites for its Starlink constellation. In total, the eventual planned size for the constellation is expected to include up to 42,000 spacecraft based on current FCC frequency spectrum filings. SpaceX recently signed a new agreement with NASA that outlines how the two organizations will avoid close approach or collision events between their respective spacecraft. NASA has measures it requires all launchers to follow in order to avoid these kinds of incidents, but the scale and frequency of SpaceX's Starlink missions necessitated an additional, more extensive agreement. This launch also included a landing of the Falcon 9 booster used, its 7th so far. The booster touched down as intended on SpaceX's floating landing pad in the Atlantic Ocean, and will be refurbished for another potential reuse. SpaceX is also going to be looking to recover its fairing halves at sea, which are the 2 cargo covering shields that encase the satellites during takeoff. The company actually just decommissioned 2 ships it had used to try to catch these out of midair as they fell slowed by parachutes, but it's still looking to retrieve them from the ocean after splashdown for reuse.
Don't forget to subscribe 9plus International.